Hello! Today I've got another tutorial for you, and yes, I did cut my bangs. I did it myself because, I don't know, I just enjoy playing with my own hair, basically. I do actually have this, like, well, my hair naturally splits at this part, or parts there, yeah, whatever. So now I'm blow drying it every day to make sure it falls to the right, into the right direction. So yeah, before I'm actually going to put a lot of effort into the bangs, I'm just going to try and make sure that that actually works rather than stays being annoying, and yeah. So yeah. But yeah, back to the makeup. I wanted to do a makeup look this week that was sort of different than usual and just a different color than usual. And then a friend of mine suggested to do a sort of yellow eye look. So I decided to do that. So let's get started. Okay, so this look was actually suggested by a friend of mine whose YouTube name is Love It, and her blog is love comes to those who believe it.wordpress.com. But she writes in Dutch, so if you can't read Dutch, then that's not very useful information. But yeah, in any case, she suggested that I do a sort of yellow look. Sort of brownish yellow, I'm not sure what the shade is called in English actually. But there's this sort of colors which are very suitable for autumn, I think. And also is not really the sort of color that I see a lot in eye look, so I really wanted to try it. So I did. And just dropped the brush, yep. I'm using the BH Cosmetics 120 color palette, which I'm holding upside down, but I've got the color parts in it like this, so I can't close it because then they would touch each other. Let me just grab the brush that I just dropped. Yep. Okay, I'm going to start out as, well, not as usual, but it's probably going to be usual. I mean, I did it for the last few looks I did. I'm going to start out with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Crème de Rose, which is supposed to be French, and I don't really speak French, but yeah, it's written like this. I'm probably writing it in the screen as well, so yeah. I don't know with focus, but you can write it in the screen, and otherwise it'll be in the description box below, because I always list all the stuff that I used on my face and my eyes in makeup tutorials. But yeah, this time I'm not going to use the Body Shop brushes usually used for that. I'm just going to use the eyeshadow brush by Sigma that I always use, the large shader. Simply because I forgot to grab the Body Shop brush, so yeah, I'm too lazy to go get it now. Also, this one actually does apply it better, so yeah. Probably going to continue using this brush for it. And I'm just really using this as a base. I mean, I did already put just a little bit of BB cream and powder on my eyes. But I'm just applying this over it so that the color will actually stick to the eye, rather than just be wiped off it once I start blending. And yeah, once it's on there, you can just use any cream eyeshadow for this, by the way, or, you know, an actual eyeshadow base. But I chose to use this one because I just like how it works. Yeah, then it's time to go to the actual colors. And I'm going to start out with this side of the palette. I really do recommend, you know, using a palette with like a lot of colors for this look, because it's pretty difficult to find yellow eyeshadow, or at least these shades of yellow. Because you need a few shades of yellow, and yeah, yellow eyeshadow just isn't the most common thing, I guess. But yeah, I'm just going to start out with this color, which is sort of pale shade of yellow. Well, pale shade of dark yellow, brownish yellow. Kind of hard to describe. But I'm just going to apply that on my eyelid. The moving part of the eyelid. Except for the inner corner, because I'm going to put a paler shade there. And especially with colors like these, it is really important to use a good sticky base. Just because, I don't know, for some reason colors like this are very like, yeah. They have this tendency to really not show up all that much. Doesn't matter on what skin tone, just on their own, without a base, they just usually don't show up all that much for some reason. But with a base, they're really pretty, at least this one is. And then we're going to use the side of the brush and the paler shade of yellow I have here. And we're just going to put that in the inner corner. Could also use a smaller brush for it, but I prefer to just use the side of this brush because I'm already holding it anyway. And I'm just applying enough that it actually covers. And I'm not going to bother with the bottom part of the eyelid yet, because I'm going to highlight some more later. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it at that for now and then move on to a different brush. This one, just a tapered blending brush by Sigma. And yeah, this shade over here, which is a brownish pale golden brown shade. It's too bad that these colors don't actually have names. And I'm just going to start defining the crease with that. Like I said, you're going to need a lot of colors, although you could simplify the look and just use less colors, of course. But I really want to get the depth in there. So I'm using quite a lot of colors. And I'm also putting that in the inner corner a little bit. Okay. I'm not going to like make it completely dark with this color because it's not dark enough to do that. Instead I'm going to move on to the other side of the palette. Okay. Which looks like this. And it has some more colors. Oh, by the way, I forgot to use one color. Yeah, moving back to a smaller eyeshadow brush here. And this shade over here. Sort of the paler version of the shade that we just used in the crease. And I'm going to apply it on the center of the eyelid just because I also want some shimmer on that. And the yellow shade that I originally used on the eyelid doesn't have shimmers, so I'm just putting this one on top of it to make it shimmery. Okay, then we're officially done with that side of the palette. And I'm just using, still not done with that side of the palette. Using a shorter brush and that same color. And I'm just putting a little bit of that underneath the eye, just to sort of already have a color there. Again, I'm trying to create some depth. It's not really showing up all that much on camera, but trust me, it's there. But yeah, then I'm finally officially going to move on to the other side of the palette and a angled brush. And yeah, at first I wanted to use black, but I decided to use only a little bit of black and other colors to define the crease. What I'm going to start out with though is a paler color than the color that I originally used, which is really the color that this entire look is based on, this one. And I'm just going to put that on top of the other color that I put in the crease. Because this color on its own, it isn't dark enough to really define the crease, but I do want the actual color to show up, so I'm just putting it on top of the other one. So the other one is dark enough to make it show up. And this just gives the color that I want. And then I'm going to use the dark shade over here, which is sort of a burgundy color. Like I said, at first I wanted to use black, but then I decided burgundy might look a little bit better to use as a sort of defining crease color, and then just use the black as, you know, an even deeper color. You'll see what I mean later. Well, you can see it a little bit on this eye. But I'm just going to put this in the crease. And I'm sort of keeping this within the boundaries of the other colors. And then just blend it upwards. And I'm not going all the way to the eyebrow, but I am going pretty high up. And I'm also putting this in the outer V. Doesn't have to be completely dark because I'm going to put black on top of it later, but again, putting different colors on top of each other just creates depth, and I really like that. So yeah, once that's on there, I'm going to use a small brush again and the same color. And just going to put that in the outer corner of my eye. And then it looks like this. And then lastly, I'm actually going to use black and sort of rounded small blending brush. And yeah, just regular black eyeshadow, whatever black eyeshadow will do. And just really only putting that in the outer V. So basically I'm just patting it on there. And then just wiping the brush off on a towel. Because I don't want to add more color than this. Or more black than this. Black isn't the color, it's a shade. Just like white, you know. Yeah. We actually had a test back in high school where we actually had to like define colors and everything, and that was actually a question. So yeah, in any case, I'm just blending that out. Until there's no really harsh lines left, and I am dragging it quite far to the inner corner. And then that part is done. Almost. yeah, I do want it to be equally dark. So at this point, if you do notice that the other eye is darker, you can always add some more eyeshadow. And once it's done, it's time for highlight. I'm using the same brush for that, so I really like wiping it off on a towel. The reason I use a towel, by the way, is because the fibers of the towel really get between the hair, so they really get the color out. But yeah, then I'm using this sort of really pale golden shade. And I'm putting it all around the tear duct. This also has shimmers, by the way. And underneath the eye. And sort of dragging this all the way to where the other color starts. And then it looks like this, just a little bit more. Okay. And then that's almost it for the eyeshadow. Okay, then I'm starting out with highlight underneath my eyebrows for the next part. Which I'm just going to use a white shade for and a short eyeshadow brush. And this white is just a matte white, by the way. I don't want to apply shimmer underneath my eyebrows while the entire eye look is already shimmery. And I'm mainly focusing on the highest point of my eyebrow and then just blending it. And then it looks like this. I don't want anything too extreme, just, you know, a little bit of highlight. Then it's time for eyeliner. And I'm using the Catrice Cake eyeliner, which looks like this. And I've already put a little bit of water in it, I don't know if you can tell. But yeah, I'm just mixing it until it has the right consistency. And using a eyeliner brush for that, obviously. This one is by Sigma. And then just very carefully applying eyeliner. And I'm trying, of course, to make it look like the other side. I always like to start out with the wing because that's the most difficult part. At least to me it is. And sort of dragging it as far as the eyeshadow goes. Oh, you can of course also use regular liquid liner. Or pencil liner, or just use whatever liner you're comfortable with. Gel liner is also an option. But I wanted to use cake liner just because I want to challenge myself to work with this brush more often. Okay, then we have that effect. And yeah, the most difficult part is always to make it look like the other side. Almost. Okay, and yeah, I'm gonna apply a little bit more water. I'm just using regular tap water that I put in a garden thing, just because it's easier. Yeah, I always start with the outer edge, with the wing, because I think it's the most difficult part. And then I'm moving on to the inner corner, and I'm just making it really, really thin because I don't want to cover up too much of the color. Just making a thin line really carefully. And it's really the thing with liquid liner. You should never rush it, you should always just really take the time to do it. Because if you rush it, it's going to screw up. Okay, almost. And then once like the color is on there, I'm just concentrating on making the edges look right. Okay, almost. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone now. And if you did, you know, put a little bit of color where there wasn't supposed to be any color, you can just use an angled brush like this one and just apply some more color on top of it. To sort of make it disappear like this. Yeah, and then once that's done, that's basically the most difficult part of the entire look. So then I'm going to move to pencil liner, which is a much easier part. This is the Estée Lauder Pure Color Kohl Kajal one in black and black. And I'm just tight lining with it. Okay. And also the bottom, of course. And I'm still practicing in blending out pencil liner, so I'm also putting it between my eyelashes, lower eyelashes. And then I'm just using a short brush, which is over here. This short brush is also used for all the other parts underneath my eye, to sort of blend it out. Doesn't have to be too dark because I'm still going to apply mascara on the bottom lashes. And it does sort of cover up the other colors, but that doesn't really matter because, you know, like with the other colors underneath, it does still give the hint of color, and that's what matters, because if there would only be black there, then, I don't know, it wouldn't tie in as nicely with the rest of the eye. So yeah, then it's time for mascara. I'm actually going to use falsies today, so I'm using only a little bit of mascara. I'm using the Sexy Pulp by Yves Rocher. Because on me this is a sort of mascara that I run through my lashes once and then they have a nice color and it's done. I'm going to apply a little bit more on the lower lashes because of course I'm not going to apply falsies on the lower lashes. Okay, that's enough. And yeah. And then it's time for false lashes. I'm using these ones by, well, I don't know what brand they are actually, but they're from Born Pretty Store. This is sort of that's like thicker in the outer corner and thinner in the inner corner. I'm also using tweezers. These aren't the same tweezers that I use to pluck my eyebrows, by the way, because that's just, you know, glue gets in them and they're not completely sharp anymore. So I'm just using old tweezers for this. And Peggy Sage eyelash glue, which I always just put on the packaging of the eyelashes, just because I gotta put it somewhere. And yeah, I'm just only using a little bit of it. And I also always use a Q-tip to apply the glue to the eyelashes. Okay. So yeah, I'm just grabbing the eyelashes in my tweezers. And then I especially concentrate the glue on the outer corners because I really want those to stick down immediately. Because if those keep getting loose, then it's basically impossible to really apply them well. And if you apply these on other people, then never blow at them because that's not hygienic. But I am going to blow at them because I'm just applying them on myself and I don't have any patience. Because you want the glue to be tacky. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this on camera because for some reason I just can't apply eyelashes on camera. But I'm gonna try. Also doesn't help if they stick to the friggin' tweezers. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this off camera and then I'll be right back. Yeah, the whole problem with the eyelashes always I have to be really close to a mirror and then you'd see like this on camera. Which would be annoying when I'm applying eyelashes. But yeah, now it's time for lipstick. I'm using this one by Fink Tease, which is one that's sold at a budget store here in the Netherlands. It's just a sort of shimmery nude, peachy shade. As usual, I'm applying it with a brush. Also applying a little bit of lip gloss on top of it. This is a Stay Glossy Gloss by Rimmel. It's a really old one. I have no idea how old. But any nude lip gloss will do. Okay, so this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Okay, I'll start with telling you what I use as a base because that's just really easy. Basically the base was easy. In any case, yeah.